It is Wednesday, April 3rd, 2024, and it is 12:06 in the afternoon. And I'd like to call the meeting of the Bay Oaks Recreational Campus Advisory Board to order, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Joy just texted me and says she's available for a call, so we can have her on here if we go.
Yes, that would be lovely. So before we do a roll call, I'd like to have a vote of all of the current present advisory board members that Joy Sullivan will be given permission to be involved via phone. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There being none, motion is carried unanimously, and then we'll begin with roll call. We'll begin with Jesse, and welcome. Glad you're here.
Thank you. Oh, John.
John,
Joy, it's Jeff.
Barbara Hill,
Becky Guidry.
Karen Woodson.
Got you on here.
and
Jeff Hauge, and Joy Sullivan is on the phone.
Joy. Can we hear Joy from, you want to state your name, please? Is she hearing? Is she hearing?
I'm sorry. You cut out there.
Would you state your name, please, Joy?
Oh, yeah, sure. Joy Sullivan,
Okay.
calling in on the phone.
Wonderful. Thank you, Joy. Then we will begin. And before we go forward with the approval of the minutes, we have had concerns over the last several months with regard to unexcused absences. And we would like to amend minutes from previous meetings that reflect the minutes of the previous meetings, to reflect those that were not in attendance, that were not excused. And so obviously it has presented a problem. This was close to, again, not having a quorum, which means that we can't officially conduct business. And so we would like to amend the minutes from the previous meetings that showed that there were people that were unexcused that did not attend. And I don't believe that can come before I guess we can come before a vote with this. Does anyone want to make a motion that we're going to?
The minutes from last month say everybody.
I
not
think we're
present was
looking at
excused.
previous months too. I think we were,
Oh,
because,
not just last month, okay.
yeah, because the other meeting, obviously, we didn't have a quorum. So,
So it looks like we're looking at February here, and it looks like February, the only one noted that was not here was Becky, and it was noted excused.
okay.
That was not correct.
And that's not correct?
Correct, right.
Okay.
I missed that meeting. I don't miss meetings, and I missed that one.
I know, it says,
Yeah.
excused for February 7th.
It is excused.
It is excused.
You're
Good.
fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it says that you're excused.
Okay. I'm sure that, I mean, I did miss that one.
Yeah.
Yes, no, it's okay.
Yeah,
You
and
were
it says that.
excused.
Okay.
But it also says that everybody was present and Joy was virtual. Mm-hmm. So that was February. So then in March, so it says excused on here was Bruce, which he was not excused. John, I think you had called and let us know that you couldn't be here.
Yeah, we were trying, and technically
Right.
we couldn't make it happen on the
Yeah,
day.
you were.
Yeah.
Betty was excused. She was ill, I think, that day. And
This last one?
March.
Last month.
March
Yeah, because
6th.
we technically didn't even.
We couldn't get her on the
But
phone.
We couldn't get her on the phone because
We didn't have a
quorum.
quorum.
Right. And Jesse, you were not here
Yeah.
last meeting.
Yeah, I sent
I mean,
you a note.
So you had sent, because that's what we need to do is send, so really it would be excused would be John, Jesse, Betty. Unexcused was Bruce.
make sure he didn't have an email.
Okay, so
No,
let's,
because remember, we called him and he forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
You got it right,
Yeah,
Jeff?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
okay, so that is only for that March, what was that date?
March 7th, March 6th. I'm
March
sorry.
6th meeting, okay. And actually, those are the minutes that were, which means that as we review the minutes for March 6th, we can amend whatever changes we also want to make in addition to reflect that Bruce Butcher had an unexcused absence. So that's now done for the record.
Right.
So that being said, we already have an amendment. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes from March 6th?
Yes.
All right, is there a motion to approve with said amendment?
I'll motion to approve. Becky Guidry.
Thank you, Becky. Second?
Jesse Field.
Jesse. Thank you, Jesse.
Barbara,
Yeah, clarification?
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to approve the February 7th meeting either because we didn't have a quorum. We could either put it on the next agenda if you guys all want to review it, or if you've already reviewed it, we can approve it. I don't, whatever you want to do, Barbara.
Is that presented in our
It is
packet?
not. I just thought of it as we got it, so I can send it out for next meeting.
Let's do it next
So that
meeting.
you'll have a chance to review it
All
and
right,
be
thank
on the
you.
schedule. So, okay.
All right, great.
It's,
All right,
yeah, if
there's a
there's no
motion.
quorum, it was hard to.
Yes, exactly. All right, there's a motion on the floor. May I have a vote to approve the minutes as amended?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There being none, motion carried. Thank you with that amendment. All right, public comment. There is no one in the audience, so we will then move forward with the staff liaison
Do we do
report,
anything with the
Jeff.
roll call this month first?
I'm sorry?
Do we need to do anything with the roll call this month? Who's excused and who's unexcused?
Yeah, that's a great point. Do we have Bruce Butcher that's unexcused?
I've not heard from Bruce.
Okay, and Joy's on the phone, and Jesse's here. So let
Betty.
the records reflect that we have Bruce Butcher as an unexcused absence for today's meeting,
And Betty Simpson is excused.
Excuse.
and Betty is excused.
I have a question really quickly. If we cannot be here like Joy and we tell you and then we can vote, like say I'm absent for whatever reason out of town, and y'all vote to have me on the phone, is that counted as present or still an
Yes.
excused
If there's a
absence?
quorum and we vote to
It's
approve it,
counted
you
as
can-
present.
Yeah, like we've just done.
You're
with
part of the
Joy.
meeting, so yeah, it's
Okay.
present.
All right. Jeff, do you have your report?
Yeah, I mean it's in the packet. If you've read through it, we have a lot going on at Bay Oaks, and I guess on the campus in general. You're sitting in the chambers, which obviously we're all up and running here at Town Hall, as you know, on the Bay Oaks campus grounds. So Bay Oaks itself is doing well. Danielle is the acting campus manager right now. We do have it out we have it out for applications to be submitted, and we've had a number of them from all over the place, all over the United States. So
Really?
that's good. We've had a few internal as well, so we'll start that process next
Do we pay for
week.
reload?
We do not.
I'm just curious.
Who doesn't want to live here?
We do not. Not for these. I mean, these positions. I don't know about anyone, but no, not the campus manager. We don't. So. A lot of things going on though. We've had a lot of fun days lately. We had no school for spring break, and then they got off for the Friday before Easter, and they were off this Monday. So a lot of fun
Easter egg
times.
hunt?
And the Easter egg hunt went well. Went really well actually. A lot of people.
It was good.
A lot of good times. So, we're starting. We did hire a new athletics and fitness coordinator, Shanette Thomas. She was previously in permitting. However, she's got a background. She played college basketball. She's done a lot of work with camps, rec centers. I think she worked at a YMCA for a few years as a program manager.
Oh,
So
nice.
a lot of great experience, and she wants to hit the road, really fast.
She's the
So-
one doing the men's basketball?
Yes.
Her name was on the flyer.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing that
Jeanette, she's
there's men's
great.
basketball
She-
now. Like
she actually started with us as a part-time worker, or not even a temp. Right after the hurricane, she worked in our CRC tents. She with the donations and the people coming in. Saw the potential in her. The only really positions we had were permitting, so she stepped into the role. But she always kind of said athletics are my thing, of course. So we ended up putting it out there for applications, and they came in, and she was far and beyond the best candidate we had.
Fantastic.
So we are looking at, yes, men's basketball, some kids events coming up. Those will be to be decided, but we're looking at a bunch of different things. I said, we can start slow if you want, because there's not as many residents. She goes, nope, I'm hitting it. We're going to try as many as we can. So she's very excited. Flag football, I think she's going to have plans. She wants to maybe try soccer down here with the younger kids, t-ball on the field with the really young ones to get some interest, so we can have a beach little league back in the future, which would be great. So we're trying to get the kids, not necessarily birth, but 3 to 5 years old to get interested in sports and our facilities and get them down here. Planning's under the way for summer programming already. We're getting to be that time where we're going to be putting that out very soon, which is going to be great. Last year we were at Mound House, which was wonderful, and we're still going to use that facility from time to time, for sure, with fishing, kayaking, and those things, but it will be housed at Bay Oaks this year. But we found the great partnership with the Mound House and the grounds last year, so we're going to definitely be utilizing that as well. Those will all be sent out. Hopefully they'll be finalized in the next month or so we can get the field trips and everything out to the parents. Pickleball, obviously, is another big one, both indoor and outdoor. We were a little slow going with the indoor. The weather was kind of nice outside, so we had a lot of outdoor. But they're starting to come inside and utilize that as well. Senior trips, boss programs. Danielle's doing a great job with those, as she always has. Can read. They went, kayaking. They went on a bike trip. I think they just went on one to Boca Grande, which they had a great time. She said they almost lost somebody, but they didn't. Somebody veered off a different route, but no, I'm just kidding. No, it was good. So that's kind of our saying, like, even with kids, is if you come back with the number you came, it was successful.
Always counting. Always
Head
counting.
count.
So, yeah, at least we know they were in Lee County at that point because they were in Boca. So, that's Bay Oaks in a nutshell. It's going really well. If you haven't been in there for some reason, go look at it. We redid the flooring. We ordered a divider curtain for the gym, so we can cut it off. Where if we have pickleball on both sides, the ball doesn't roll around, or we can have kids on one side, like adult basketball. We just want to separate the kids a little bit more from the general public, just for safety issues, and it's a nice buffer to have. So balls on playing dodgeball, they roll all over, basketballs, whatever. So that has been ordered, and we'll put it up. So it's we didn't have enough time or really money to get electronic one. So this one will just be one that we pull, but it's still all really really good, thick, heavy duty vinyl. So should be nice. Baseball field, tennis courts, for anybody that's listening. We are getting quotes on resurfacing the tennis courts, so that is in the works. It's just getting people down here to give us quotes is sometimes hard, and with the FEMA dollars that we get reimbursed, we have to get 3 quotes, so can't do sole source or piggybacking or anything like that on that. So it's hard on the island. It was hard to get people down here before the storm, and now it's even harder. So, but we are working. I think we have 2 people that came out. We're looking at that third. To come and give us a quote on the resurfacing, and then we'll do that. The ball field, we're still working on the ball field. We had a little bit of extra loan money that we are using to do. We did the new backstop with the netting. We're facing that wall. If you go out there with some decorative stone, do a little bit more painting. There is the Beach Little League contacted me yesterday, and there's like 4 of them playing in Bonita right now, and they asked if they could come and play a couple games on the Little League field here, and absolutely, let's do that. So it's going to be April 10th and April 20th and May 10th. They'll be having, and then food trucks down here and everything. So it'll be kind of cool. So
That's cool.
have an actual game on the field and get it utilized a little more. We still have senior softball playing. 2 days a week, and I think they had 34
That's awesome.
the other day. It's great. I mean, they are using the field, and which was the intent, since we only have one, and they have the guys that can hit them out of the park, which I bet they're excited about too. But they are having a good time. I believe today is their like end of the year party, I guess you'd say, at where is it at? Rude Shrimp tonight. So we'll see if I can get there.
Are they even open tonight, though?
Are they not?
Well,
I don't know how we put it on. So.
With this wind? Because they moved, Women's Club was supposed to be there too, and they moved it
Oh,
tonight because of the wind.
possibly I'll ask Howie. That's something
Yeah.
he
It's
puts
supposed
on.
to start
so.
raining like 5 or 6 too. It's not gonna be bad, but still.
Yeah, but I mean, the farmer's market was canceled up at Moss Marine today too, because the
The
tents
wind?
were blowing
Wow.
like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll have to check with
Yeah.
Howie. I haven't heard yet, but they are going to continue to play. But they're just. He thinks that everyone's going to go home. He thought that last week, and we ended up with like 31 yesterday. So, which is great. Again, wonderful. I'm glad we have still people on the island that are staying and utilizing our facilities and our restaurants and the beaches.
Hey, Jeff,
Yes, ma'am.
can I ask a quick question about the divider? So just from a visual, so it's running between the pickleball courts, right? Smack down the middle?
Yeah, right down. It's going to separate the two basketball courts.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. So you'll have 4 pickleball courts on one side, 4 on the other.
Awesome.
Now we don't have to put those mats down there, those black mats. They used to be blue.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the complaints that I got, that the mats kept getting in the way, so that's great.
Yeah, now it'll be a vinyl sheet that's going to get in the way. So, okay, great. Still not much on the pool. If we can have somebody come in and give us a magical check, we'd be happy. But right now we're just waiting on...
Where's the magical check?
You
We
got
don't
it?
know. We don't have one.
Okay.
If we can get one and somebody wants to present it, I'm not going to say no to it. And we're obviously, I'm not going to ask somebody to do anything for free. But if we had funds come in that was donated, we can get this project going, so we're not waiting for, FEMA and insurance. And we just had a second FEMA inspection. We requested one because the valuation of the pool was so low. Extremely low, like $200,000 for the entire
What?
facility through FEMA.
From FEMA?
Yeah, that would cover the slide. Not
That's
even.
It'll cover the
Crazy.
pump.
Yeah, not even. So, and it was insurance. We didn't. I don't know the exact amount, but we just didn't get much. So really, we're without that park improvement loan and that ending in May. There's no way we could get it done in time. So right now, it's just like the big ball field. Actually, the big ball field, we have a little bit of money to put towards it from the ARPA funds and the match grant, but we have to get that done by the end of the year too. It has to be complete. But
Question, if someone would magically appear with a check, do they get any kind of sponsorship, notoriety, naming rights, anything like that? I mean, I know it's part of Bay Oaks, but is there something that we can give back to them as a result of that? Because didn't we do that with the Little League, with the donations that we received?
the Little League field,
Little League field
yeah, that was already Wade Jenkins Field. The Little League had named that.
Years ago.
Yeah, many years. I mean, that was.
But isn't there some kind of sponsorship banners or something that was, or was that just
Yeah,
for the
we have
grant?
banners
We
that,
have- Yeah,
that if people want to donate, or the ones that helped out with the in-kind donations, or helping us out with whatever to build the field, which we did. I mean, MLB, ICS, they were huge.
but we could have naming rights for the pool, right? It doesn't have to be Bay Oaks Pool.
No, I mean, no,
There's
we
a
could.
Bay Oaks
and-
pool by somebody else. Like,
Or
you can put
something
their
like
name on it,
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. If you can't rename it.
Yeah, I don't think we have any type of. I know in other facilities that I've ran, there's been actually in contracts. You donate over $500,000,
Right.
you can have naming rights, or you donate, 25,000, you get a room named after you.
Right.
So I don't think we have any of that in writing, which we certainly could look at, but we
yeah,
could
I think that
also
becomes-
vote on it and have the council decide.
And that's actually, a policy that has to be developed by staff and, made official by council to have those naming rights.
Yes.
The other opportunity is, of course, through Friends, which was a nonprofit organization that was designed to actually bring the funds in.
Right.
And if, they too would have to have that naming criteria. So $1 million for, like, say, the Hertz Arena, it'll be the,
John Dusolari.
John Deslayer Arena.
Let's
Or the
see.
pool, right?
We're first going to name the Deslier household once we rebuild.
Right.
So the naming rights will be on our post box.
And so I don't know if that's the function of staff with the town to come up with a policy that allows for naming rights. And that could also be applicable to Newton Park, to anything here at Bay Oaks. But currently, if there isn't any, we really can't
We should ask,
seek.
I mean,
ask Andy about that.
definitely we could ask. We can ask
And
Andy.
if our
Exactly.
attorneys can write it up and.
But
And a
yeah,
whole-
I think let's see let's show me the money first.
Yeah. Well,
No, I mean,
put it
no,
out
no, no.
there.
Could be
It might
a
be
matching
enticing.
grant.
You're right, it could
Say,
be matching,
for example, if the town goes for a grant to supplement the FEMA money for the pool, and if there's, usually a grant requires matching funds, so if there's an individual donor that says, I'll bring up like $250,000,
Yeah.
if the state comes up with another 250, and then, it makes that gift much more powerful financially.
there's also, and I didn't know that we would go quite to this level, which I'm kind of
and we
excited
don't
about.
and we don't have we
talking
actually have on
about.
items for discussion pool. So I don't know if we want to
Well,
do
yeah.
it now. Or, I mean, we're probably there right now, actually. So
Well,
I thought we moved
does
to that.
anybody have any questions for Jeff with regard to his staff report?
I just want to mention, since they fall into parks, Bayside Veterans Park I was down there on Sunday for the concert. Again, even though it was Easter Sunday, it was great. A lot of people down there, I'm assuming people vacationing. I saw some, locals that I recognized. And there was still over 150 people down there.
Wow.
That's great.
So
That's great.
With Nervous Nelly's open now, that whole corner is just spectacular. If you haven't been down for one of the concerts, they're really nice. You get people dancing, all sorts of music, all ages dancing. You get the younger ones. You have, the
And it's going on like
You can
every
say
Sunday
elderly
till-
as
elderly
perfectly okay.
couples that are slow dancing to music and
I
to
like
think
how
of the
Snug Harbor
word.
redid their outside. Like that whole area looks
so
so,
cool.
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't been
so
down there,
cool.
the news I was on 2 months ago called the new Times Square. So
It's a new,
Yes.
it is the downtown hub now.
It is
without a
great.
doubt,
It's really
so.
wonderful.
so we are
It's a
always
great
looking, for rentals for that facility too.
Do the concerts go through, what are they scheduled for now? Through May or through April?
Through
Yeah, they were
May, I
extended,
believe.
though. You're
Yeah, they
absolutely
keep
right.
extending them because it's been such a great turnout.
Right.
So we'll see what, I guess.
Isn't it the chamber that is sponsoring some of that?
Yeah,
Along
the chambers.
with the town.
Yep. The chamber's
Oh.
sponsoring some. I know with help from Snug and Wahoo's. I'm not sure if Nervous Nelly's is kicking in.
I don't think
Anything
they have
yet,
yet, but
but-
Snug and Wahoo did.
They did a majority of
theirs.
it to begin. So
It
I know they
brings
have
people
somebody
in.
that does. They have a music guy that brings in the the talent, if you will. But yeah, it's been awesome. I haven't heard a band that's been not to my liking, and I like all genres, but it's been great.
That's
used to-
wonderful.
I've missed a couple weeks here and there, but we try to get down there as much as we can as a family, my family too, and a good time.
It's really, really a dynamic park and
What?
perfectly located.
And I will
Perfectly
mention,
situated.
sorry, I totally blew us off. 4th of July is coming up. We're going to be doing a parade. The application's already in for the parade. And fireworks. Same Zambelli fireworks that did the last ones that were just amazing. They said we had a meeting with them, and they said that our New Year's fireworks were, I think he said the biggest, at least, I'm going to say it boom-wise.
Yeah.
The show was the biggest in Southwest Florida for sure, and maybe Florida. So
What?
it was, he said, what people are raising for this, and it's the residents and visitors that are raising money for the fireworks, is awesome. So we're just going to continue that on, and we have a kind of a committee that's not really a committee that's meeting. Quite frequently we have somebody that's really putting their foot forward and going to it. So we are looking at having the parade again. We're scheduling that with everything, getting the ball rolling early, and then we'll also have the fireworks.
I have a question. Where the Veterans Park is located, it's obviously you've got the bayfront. Wasn't there at some point talk of extending that walk along the bay? What happened with that? Where are we with that?
That was Moss Marine. With
Oh,
their
yeah, no,
Arches
that's the Moss
Bayfront.
Marine
Didn't we
part.
talk about at some
I'm
point
talking about-
Moss
extending-
Marine was extending it all the way down
To-
to Matanzas
Okay.
when they did. That was in their plan for Arches Bayfront.
So that was going
Oh.
through the park and then all the way to Matanzas.
all the way to Matanzas.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
not just on their property.
No, so it depends on, right now, they've only put in for rezoning of, because they're zoned a marina and they have to be zoned commercial pedestrian kind of thing. So they put in for a rezoning. It has not come before LPA or
Okay.
council yet. And then they have to put in, I think they're in the CPD process for Arches Bayfront, but it's going to be a while. It's a huge project.
Right, it's a huge project.
Yeah.
Is there any change that would happen to our town park and that bayfront location that would, or is just staying the same and then they just could extend it?
With the
Okay.
walkthrough, going through. So I think the way they have it looking now, that pool that is at the, what is that condo name by
Snug Harbor.
The Snug Harbor.
Snug Harbor and the condos
condos.
behind it?
Yes,
Okay, so that walkway,
yes.
so that's why they did the tiki all around and that whole thing coming down, and then the walkway would continue. I can't remember if it's behind, I think it's behind Bayside Park, and then along Nervous Nellies, and then down to Matanza. But in
Closer to
the
the
whole plan of scheme of things, that pool has to be moved.
Okay, because it's such an obstruction, isn't it?
Right,
Yes, I
right.
tried to get to Moss Marine via Snug Harbor.
You gotta go all the way
Restaurant,
around
and
and, yeah.
obviously that did not work, and I wondered about that, but that's so are you saying that they would be obligated to move the pool?
I think that would be, they would not be, Arches Bayfront would, as part of their whole redo,
Like
would
a
be,
mitigation, got it.
It's a lot going on.
yeah, there's a lot going on. Yeah, so it's all in planning, and like, first thing that has to happen is the rezoning, and then they go in for their permitting, or their CPD, and then the permitting process and everything. So, I mean, that whole
It's
thing
gonna
is a
be years.
minimum of 6 to 9 months out.
Oh, months,
Probably
wow.
9 to 12
Yeah.
months out.
Before it even starts.
What about the little pier? I think there was some talk, obviously, before the hurricane, about reactivating that pier that's by the town parking lot there on the other side of Nervous Nellies, closer to the bridge.
That was part of the mooring field kind of thing. And now they're looking at different locations rather than there. They're trying to look at other possible locations for the
For the
mooring
mooring field,
field.
right.
But also, along with that, the facilities for the mooring field, because at one time they were at Matanzas.
Right.
Then they moved them to Harbor House. Harbor House is not available anymore. Matanzas is still not
Yes.
available. So there's talk right now of, Jim Adderholt approached Lee County about looking at Bowditch Point to actually have a new mooring facility there. Or some other places that they're looking at is like in back of, where the town offices were, and they own all the way back to the canal.
The connect, right, as a possibility.
But everything would have to be built. And then they were also talking, at some point I heard about redoing the fishing pier, the town owning
That's what
that
I, the
and
last heard.
redoing.
I just didn't know if there was any update to
But
that.
I think it kind of depends where the new mooring fields
Okay,
go
that's-
and what's going to
it's-
happen. So
got
it's
it.
kind of a domino
Got it.
effect. So as soon as that all gets decided, then there'll be a better idea of what's going to happen with that.
Okay, thank you for the update on that,
Yeah.
Karen, I appreciate it. Question for Jeff, what is her name Shanette?
Jeanette
What was her last name?
Thomas.
Thomas, okay, just for
Yep.
reference for me. And is she in charge of the entire athletic department then?
Yeah, her title is athletics coordinator.
And does that include the fitness program, or is,
Yeah, in the whole umbrella it does. Danielle, that's kind of her realm too.
I was going to say,
So,
yeah.
but we'll see how, of course, the dominoes fall, like Karen said.
And
We'll see what happens with, certain staff move to a different position and take that, then we'll have to relook at that. But yeah, the actual one is part of fitness.
has she already begun, or is
Yes,
she?
yep.
Oh, she has.
Yeah,
okay.
she started a couple weeks ago
Couple
already.
weeks
Yeah.
ago. Okay.
Yeah, she was
wonderful.
just kind of doing the hybrid where permitting still needed help before, so we didn't want to leave them high and dry, for sure. So she's in there now, though. She's loving it.
Any other questions for Jeff before we move on? No, we're
No.
good.
Well, I
All
kind
right.
of I
Yes.
kind of slided Nervous Nellies, by the way. So Bayside Park is presented by the town and FMB Chamber. The sponsor is Current, John King, and he's the main sponsor. And then title sponsors are Nervous Nellies, Snug Harbor, and Wahoo Willies.
Oh.
So they're all on there.
Good.
Yeah.
Great.
Nervous Nellie's shoe. Well, that's good to know. Okay, thanks for the
Yeah, that's good because I
clarification.
haven't asked the question. And now we know.
Yeah, that's what's on the brochure anyway.
Okay, then we can move on to pool discussion, which of course is of interest to all of us. So continuing what Jeff was saying in his report, clearly there's no funding available to redo the pool or rebuild the pool or build a new pool or even fix the
No,
pump.
that was my my question is even the finance was where's the money going to come from?
All right, let me ask
Not
you
getting
this. Has the town ever come up with the plan or the budget and the budget proposal in terms of what it is that can best be built, given the restriction of land on that property, to at least say, okay, the budget for doing this and getting us up and running is this? Do we have that figure?
We have two very different estimates right now.
They're like,
Okay, and what are they?
One is right around maybe 400,000 to 500,000, which may or may not include a slide, depending on the cost of the pump room and everything. And the other one goes up in the millions.
Millions, like 1 point something.
Like
4.6 or
Yes.
something like that. I mean, it was like drastically different.
Yeah.
But they're two different kind of designs. One's more of a leisure, one's
So
putting it back the way it is,
it's kind of
which is not conducive
right.
to what we want.
So you're looking at a best case scenario if funds were unlimited, and then this being the low ball of what is possible to at least get the previous program up and running.
What's not conducive? What part? You said it's not conducive to what we
I mean,
want.
it's fine.
Like
It
a
worked
leisure
well,
pool or the
but
way it was before?
just the setup. I mean, you go to some community pools and they're just set up a lot different. They're not so much concrete. They're just there's more room for like people to lay out. Like Howie goes there to just read, sits by the pool and reads.
Oh, this was Howie's place.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
of course.
this was Howie's club. And by the way, so great you're here to, keep me company and entertain me, like the pool aerobics class. Howie was sitting there kind of watching.
Yeah, always great.
Yeah, where is entertainment center?
His new hangout is rude.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you
so
go.
I guess whatever it is, it's hard to kind of plan something when you don't. I mean, yes, there have been a couple coming in, but it's just where do we come up with that money?
What-
I mean, it's one of those things where we need the money to design because that costs thousands of dollars just to do the design. We got to figure out if we still don't know if the underground pipes are okay. We're gonna have to blow them out and see if they're all right. Which after the storm, everyone said, "Oh, the stuff underground should be fine."
Nope.
Absolutely not. not.
Our overflow drain doesn't work.
No, drains or wiring.
Yeah.
Like if it's in conduit, it should be okay. I'm like, no, we haven't had any luck with that. Whether it was Bay Oaks, or anywhere. So it all got saturated. It all shifted. It all was broken. So that's not including those kind of things. The piping.
But that's
So we know what we
that's
want
part
to.
of the package, obviously.
We know the minimum we want to put back are lap swimming pools, a place for water aerobics, a structure for the younger kids. So it's gonna look. I mean, the amenities will kind of be the same, I would think. In our eyes, it's just maybe upgrading them. And
So is that what you're saying about the $400,000 to $500,000 budget?
that would be, yeah.
And so we're getting $200,000 from FEMA. So you're actually looking at about $300,000 in terms of extra money to budget for this.
That's the pool.
Right. I'm just talking about
Yeah.
the pool.
We
Right.
wouldn't have any showers. We wouldn't have any. I mean, we have to redo all that. The electric. So we're looking at quite a bit.
I mean, is it obligatory that we have the showers available, or is that just a?
Yeah.
It is. That's
Yeah,
a
they
code.
need to be able
yeah,
to-
it's a
to
code.
rinse
So
that, yeah.
you have to wrap that up in terms of the
Yeah.
total figure. Then,
It's a
so it's
health
not.
requirement.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably more like 800,000 to a million. I mean, if all that piping needs to be
Is-
redone, and which it will.
Yeah.
Is there any effort from the town staff that is going for grants, looking to see what kind of funding?
Yeah,
is?
we have not only are our staff looking, we have Tidal Basin who actively has a grants division too that's been looking as well.
I just feel like you can't count on whatever FEMA says they're going to give you at this point. I mean, you
And
might
we don't
get
even know
it,
if that's,
but you might get it 10 years from now too.
or
you know
they
what
might
I mean?
we might not get it at all.
Exactly.
Right.
But it's not a
You
guarantee.
can't factor it into the price, the budget.
Yeah, I think we've gotten one check from FEMA so far.
So what
Yeah, I
kind
got
of
my
buy-in
$700.
does the rest of the council have for budgeting from operating and reserves to build this pool beyond what FEMA provides?
Well, reserves, I don't think we have, we're
We have
trying
no
to, we're gonna have to
reserves.
try to know the reserves. So
Yeah, we have no reserves. You know, and honestly, Barbara, I don't think, it has not come in front of the council at all. So Monday, I think you heard that we put an offer in on a new building.
Yes.
For town hall.
I saw that.
So that's been in the works for months. And so until that was actually accepted and agreed upon, there has been no thought about, because that, you know, remember, we were thinking, okay, do we build an office or do we build our administration building that includes
The community
the
center.
town hall
That's
and the
right.
community center and all that kind of
Right.
stuff? Do we rebuild on town hall, which
Right.
we were severely underinsured
Yes.
on our town hall. So there was not any money really from insurance to even start that project. So finding this building and redoing this building, and now we have fingers crossed and we see no reason that the state is not going to give the $8 million that they promised. It's sitting on DeSantis' desk right now. So if we get that 8 million, so that's going to take care of that building. And
What about the parking lot next door, the 7-Eleven property? Because isn't that contingent on actually doing the town hall there because of parking?
we haven't made any offers on that one yet. That,
Okay.
That's in the works, because that would be great to have parking next door. They're not going to rebuild the 7-Eleven.
Right.
Isn't that the one that's for sale though?
Mm-hmm.
That somebody said you have to have a convenience store if you buy
Yeah,
it.
you
or-
can't have a convenience store. So that parking lot would, but I can't imagine that the town would want to purchase something when there's inadequate parking for our use.
you know,
There-
if
there
you go
would
by
be.
there, I mean, the old town hall didn't. I mean, it had,
Yeah.
you know, it wasn't a huge parking lot.
It's terrible.
The old town hall.
Oh my God,
Yes.
we
We
had
would
to
come for
park-
meetings
Yeah.
and not be able to
So-
park.
And I think
We-
if you really drive around and you
Yes.
look at it, there's in my mind, and maybe I got to go back and look at it again, but there was parking.
There was probably the same amount of parking as the old town hall.
That's what. That's
It's
what
not
I.
enough.
It's not. No, it might not
the
be enough,
7-Eleven.
but it's.
Yeah.
Unless we get the 7-Eleven. And the other thing too is they still are going to keep all the
Public
mechanical
Works.
and public works and everything at the old lot right next door here. So all of those trucks, all of those
Okay.
people,
Which took up a lot of space.
yep, they'll still be up here. They're not going to be down at the town hall,
Okay.
at the,
Yeah,
new,
the
new town hall.
That makes
The
a
goal, which we
difference.
wanted these trailers, we thought it was going to be 3-4 years probably, but we had this opportunity, which kind of awesome. Hopefully, we get the
So
money,
we can
but
probably be in there within a year.
That's
Yes.
what I
Or
heard.
less than a
Maybe
year.
even
probably less. It's
January.
Yeah,
it is a beautiful building. It's well built. It's
it
gone-
survived.
Yeah, it
And it kind
survived.
of looks like a town hall.
It does.
So
Yeah.
it's perfect.
It does. And people keep talking
architecturally.
about change of color. It'll be all town hall colors. It'll be town colors. It'll be all new, all different colors. It's not going to be green.
I don't
or
think
whatever
we're
that-
gonna buy it because of the color. Not
No.
buy it because of
But
the color.
have you seen all
Yeah.
the comments on Facebook? Oh, it can't be that color.
Oh, like somehow, yeah.
Yeah.
Stop reading Facebook comments.
All right.
I know.
But yeah, the goal is then to put at least one of these trailers over for public works in our old lot, at least the back half maybe, and then depending on how everything goes out, and we don't need to get into this today, which obviously we wouldn't, but what do we do with a community center? Do we go forward with it? It's not off the table by any means. It just has
So much
it's kind of
else
on the
is
back burner
priority.
because of this. So what do we know? Do we keep
money.
do we keep a for like a senior center? Keep one of these trailers for that?
Yeah.
I mean the possibilities are out there, but
Oh,
And
I
then,
see what you're saying. In other words, these trailers here, since they're already
can be relocated
on Bay
on.
Oaks property, could be repurposed for.
Yep.
For now.
And the nice thing would be, in this property, this is all graded and compacted. Pickleball courts would fit really nice on here.
Exactly, exactly.
So,
I mean, it doesn't offer the amphitheater that we were looking for, or the ability to do concerts, which we wanted to do on the big ball
Yeah, and
field, or multi-purpose events.
yep.
So it doesn't
Well, the ball
offer
field
that.
still may get.
Yeah.
Right. I just feel like the pool right now opening is more important than building a new.
It probably
They're
is,
all
but
important,
but
but
that
as far
all
as
it's
priorities
all
go-
contingent of funding. We got to have money to be able to build it.
Correct. I'd rather the money go towards the pool if possible first.
So let's jump back into the pool. So
Yes,
to
I was
speak.
going to,
Yes.
let's revisit the pool.
We're just waiting.
I see what you did
Sorry.
there.
Yeah, I could do it all day. I don't want to.
You did that swimmingly.
Well, don't trust me. Don't feed this animal on swimming jokes.
Like John
I mean, just some, there's a little bit of a gloom and doom feeling, but I'm a coach. It's nothing but opportunity. Now, that doesn't mean the opportunity was just going to happen, but there are investment groups that partner with towns that build athletic anything you want. And I mean, I do know of a couple. That's not an answer, but where is the town? And maybe this is a bigger question. Where is the town with partnering? It sounds like we now go into aggressive creative mode to get something done.
Right.
And it wouldn't be as much as a vinyl banner. It would be a very professional investment group. Just this is just one of many options I'm thinking of.
Public-private partnership.
Yeah, just a partnership.
That's right.
Because that can also catapult, not domino, but catapult into this entire piece of land being built out.
And that's totally an Andy.
Yeah, and that's
Call and
where
counsel, but I can't-
that kind of meeting
can't
would be great
imagine.
to have.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up on getting a meeting. I made a promise to the group that it was going to happen, and it's not finding its way to a calendar, but we'll make it happen. I mean, investment groups that I know of that are now starting to get interested in aquatics, that want to build pools fast, and they have a purpose behind that, and that's the 2028 Olympics. Most federations from around the world are going to look over these next 4 years to spending a lot of time in the U.S. doing staging camps, and that doesn't stop at swimming. That stops in renting gyms, being on beaches, being on flat surface roads that triathlons can be run on and train on. And I mean, these groups don't come in and look at 500 to 1 point anything $1 million budgets. I know of one that just finished that was I think it was one was 49 million and one was 85 million in different communities.
Bring them
where
to a meeting.
well, where they, I mean, they're doing, some of those are those interesting 100-year rental, $1 a year for 100 years. We come in, we build it, we run it, and your community has an absolute state-of-the-art, everything that they tell us they want.
And
Yeah.
I think, John, now that we've got the agreement to move forward and the offer accepted on that new building, so that's been just, sitting and waiting and
Yeah.
waiting, because we can't move on anything until that was, it's not quite finalized yet, but
Yeah.
supposedly it would be closed June 15th or July? I can't remember. July?
Yeah, well, we'd get them July 1st, I think.
July 1st. So with that in mind, I think it's now is more appropriate time to start those conversations, because now we have a direction.
Yeah.
Now we can start making other plans,
Yeah.
because we couldn't before because we were in limbo.
Well,
Right.
and we have other I mean, yes, this is all of our passion and
Yeah.
what we want to see, but we have, the tier 1 project going on that's huge, and there's other projects
Yeah.
going on. The north and south tower need to get redone that are water quality to enhance those. So there's
But
other
Lee County is picking that up, aren't they? Or the majority of that?
majority of it.
The
yeah.
majority, of not all of it.
Not all.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
so
I'll
no,
just-
I'm not saying that we shouldn't push forward, because
Yeah.
that's what we're supposed to
And
do.
the beach renourishment.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
and I will just speak for me, but the kind of the role of advisory board is, I mean, I've got lots of time and connections to go and do a lot of exploring and come back with a lot of answers or 10 different ways to do something. It's kind of the walk and chew gum. We can shoot them down left
Yeah.
and right, but if we don't ever have them lined up,
Right.
we can't shoot them down. And I know that there's been a couple of different aquatics thoughts or plans, and that's where I'll get into my own experience. I know what works in communities, and right now to establish, there's going to be 3 or 4 communities in the U.S. that are going to establish themselves as places for all of these countries to go train, and our own country to go train in the different sports. And they want to go to altitude, and they want to go to beach communities.
They do want to go to beach communities.
100%.
Why?
Well,
Humidity.
the market just in swimming would be like these federations leading up to the LA Games, but the long term, if there was, and I'm not trying to sell this, just stay it in the example, if in the footprint of the aquatic area that we had, and it does fit, I've obsessed over Google Earth. I've got 100 different designs that can go on that footprint without expanding it. If there's a 50-meter pool there, 8 or 10 lane 50-meter pool, we would have teams from all over the United States training here regularly and paying to be in those lanes. And that would
And paying to stay
rarely-
here, and paying.
well, and see the
Right.
yeah the
Going to a
pool is
restaurant.
almost just the pool is just the quote bait,
Yeah.
and then they're staying in our hotels, our Airbnbs, they're eating in our restaurants, they're buying our T-shirts, they're doing all those things, and that's what the better we have, the better facilities we have right now being 0 for aquatics. This could be the home of open water training for the world. There are seasons when you train in open water, and they happen to be when our water's at the right temperatures.
Which
they're-
is spring and summer, right?
Well, it's late fall through early December,
Okay.
and then
Water's warm
it's basically, just for it being translatable, it's about when school lets out for about a month or so.
Yeah.
So
And
those
it's
are the 2
Deadsville.
times
Deadsville.
that we're
around
not
then.
looking at premium rent to be here, to come here, to fly here, to rent vehicles, all those sorts of things. So you know, and I don't hide my enthusiasm for that very well. You know, that's just one facility. There are other sports. If you get into the Paralympic side, that would be a whole different audience for gym use, indoor and or outdoor. Training on the beach is becoming something where some of the trends are going away from all of the blood sciences that we do to track training, and we're just getting athletes to kind of get gritty again. And training running on sand is one of the hardest and safest places to do those impact things on your body. So
okay.
there's
Wow.
for all of this,
not know
there's
that.
nothing but opportunity just kind of dangling.
Yeah.
So if it's a leisure pool with a lot of deck space, then I think the town is going to be chasing members all the time. And there's going to be, you know, 25% of the chairs are going to be full there, and it's going to be more health club where some are going to pay, some are going to pay by use just when they're here. But if
And
we
that's
got into
awesome.
the
Regulation.
potential training location and the pool is the right size with auxiliary pool for that spillover time so that you are taking care of people's kids when they're in town. You have whether it's a small flow pool, with a lazy river type of pool. A lazy river around that facility, if it was a 50-meter pool, would eliminate the need for a slide or the splash area. It could be a splash area into a lazy river pool. So, I mean, the opportunities are endless. I think there is, at that investment level in the U.S., it's pretty hot now because those investors are understanding and ready to jump on, wow, we not only want this, we can do this for L.A. And then if you become a home of something coming off an enormous event, we couldn't be much further from LA, but for the international federations, 3-hour flight, 4-hour flight
They don't
is
care.
nothing. That's not even a sleep deprivation flight, you know, for those of us that circle the world pretty often.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, John, don't be negative. Could have been chasing all this stuff for a long time and have a lot of ideas,
Right.
but
we didn't know
it'll go
what was
down
gonna happen, so.
to getting to sit down with whoever and getting the yes, go these 5 directions and we'll see what we have. Kind of the shooting the pellet before we load the cannon.
It's Andy and Frankie.
Yeah,
No ifs, ands, or buts.
yeah. And
And I think to more specifically come up with an actual proposal for them to look at, comparing
Yeah.
contrasts in terms of, well, this will provide this
Yeah.
would be the potential revenue, this is the group that would be, you know, the partnership. And I don't know, Fort Lauderdale Hall of Fame, is that kind of one of the areas that we would want to emulate?
There's-
Because that's ancient.
there was no,
Okay.
that was just completely redone.
Okay.
and that is a
Well, it used to
potential
be ancient.
competitor
It
now.
was ancient originally when it was first
it's
put
all
in.
brand new. I mean, Red Bull built them a 37-meter tower.
Wow.
37 meters is really high, but that whole thing turned into a whole new diving height for World Aquatics. It won't
Where-
be in the Olympics, but
Where
it's
is this?
in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Lauderdale, yeah.
Yeah, right on the Bayside. It's been there forever. It's deteriorated over years and
Swimming
years
Hall
and
of
years. And the city and some investors just put, I think it was $60 or $70 million in it. It has 2 50-meter pools and then a 25-meter by 25-yard diving well.
So I think using that as an example, not to say that we're going to build to that
Yeah.
extent,
That-
but
that's
to say
far enough
where-
away.
That's how public-private partnerships work with aquatic
Yeah.
programs, and use that as an example for us. And I think it's a question of presenting
Mm-hmm.
those new ideas, have a buy-in from the staff, and then obviously from council, because
Yeah.
it is political will,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh,
what is it?
absolutely.
So I think there's that step that you can initiate. That would
Yeah.
be very helpful.
Yeah, and that's, you know, I need to get the meeting.
Jesse, your thoughts?
I need to get the
You've
meeting.
been very patient.
Yeah, no, I've been pretty quiet. Look, it's a huge opportunity, especially in the off season as well. What you're talking about, it makes all the sense in the world. I mean, just getting more people here, I think, is the most important thing. To your point, which you mentioned, you're only going to get so many people to sign up, right? And you're only going to get so many people that are actually going to end up like paying, and it's going to be off season and in season, and something that's more established where it's an actual destination. Changes things dramatically. Not just, putting us on the map, but, it's more of a year-round destination, which is really what we should be shooting for sure. And, to your point, it is very easy to get here from Europe. Like, it's not difficult at all.
Yeah.
To get to LA, pretty difficult. And, I think it's an opportunity we should definitely explore and at least do some sort of discovery with the connections that you have. It can do some really good things for this town for a really long time.
Are you still, how long are you here for, John?
I leave tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So.
And
It's too windy to go play on the golf today, so I am just open book. So if I need to go crash an office after the meeting, as politely as possible, and even to have a meeting to set the meeting,
least there's-
I'm warm clay on this, and I want to pounce because some people have come to me on, hey, do you know this organization exists and this organization exists? I don't know that we could go to a USA Swimming or USA Water Polo or USA Synchro or any of those sports because they're all nonprofits as well. So
Yeah, we tried going
know.
the USA Swimming route. There was a grant, and we were denied. So
yeah, and it was late. It was outside of the grant period. I did know about that from the backside.
it was.
Well, they had it. They
Had it posted, and then when we submitted it, they said it was too late.
Yeah, so that means
Yeah.
it still means you could
Yeah,
apply.
they did some.
No,
U-
they wouldn't
USA
let us
Swimming-
reapply. They took the post down.
And this is really how most of the sports federations work is if you have a facility, they want to know how they can help get that facility used. They're not into, as they call lights and locks.
Yeah.
They don't want to build it for you.
Do they? Let me ask a couple questions, if I may. The maintenance afterwards. Do they? Like, if we build this state-of-the-art facility, it's going to cost a lot more maintenance-wise. Is that part of the package?
Well, I think those packages are warm clay right now for
Okay.
even those investing groups. Some of the, and then there's sport facility companies that would come in and run the whole facility. They're using the recent college building model.
Yeah.
The greatest recruiting tool that colleges have done in the last 20 years is build out these incredible recreational facilities. It was too expensive the way most university regents looked at it to then maintain them. So now there are companies that maintain your facility, and that literally even from start to finish, people at the counters, people making sure the towels are clean, people making sure the water is taken care of, complete facility management through piecework.
Wow.
And then you can get out of the business of trying to search regionally, locally for these contractors that are either have too much work because there are too few of them, or they don't want to spend an hour in their truck that they don't have to. So it's kind of a go big or go home kind of situation.
Yeah, that
right
in
now
my
for
head, I
everybody.
think budget too, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
what is this going to do to our budget? We
Yeah.
are running on a very limited one as a municipality in general. We build this nice thing, and we're going to have to maintain, obviously a certain level. We have our staff are all
Right.
trained, not all of them. There's a number of them that are trained to work on the chemicals and those
Yeah.
things, but.
Well, this
Yeah,
is
I mean, like-
something.
And I'm not saying that's good or bad, and there's
Yeah.
maybe other opportunities out there to do it. I just want to make sure if we go big that we can sustain it over years.
Well, that's now I feel like the kind of the walking orders to do a lot more deeper and more thorough research on what these investment groups really do,
Yep.
the deals that they have, if whatever they're willing to disclose, to maybe have a smaller deal here. We're always going to be smaller. I mean, they're talking about, they build out 7 gyms
Oh, I imagine, yeah.
on acreage outside.
Yeah, I mean,
of
we had
most
small
towns.
scale with Major League Baseball,
But-
with the partnership, and that worked
Yeah.
out really well.
Worked out great.
Yeah.
They gave us in form of a grant, but they actually spent way more than they had probably in any other project, I think, so
Yeah.
to help us out.
But
So yeah, we do partnerships very well.
Yeah.
So that's not out of the realm. So I'd
Well,
love
and,
to
and
explore
knowing
the
that,
opportunity.
maybe, trying to work the idea or the quote sale to a group like USA Swimming or USA Water Polo. Hey, do you need an East Coast training home? Do you need this? Do you need that? Well, this is what it would be. Either we can get it built and then we need help maintaining it, or we need to get it.
Yeah.
We need somebody to build it and then we'll maintain it. So
Yeah, and I think we get the picture of,
Yeah.
always busy sometimes, but there'd be plenty of time for. That's the main thing with our residents is they want lap swimming,
yeah,
they want
Well,
water aerobics. So incorporating all those, and I know there'll be time.
Yeah.
There'll be times in the day for that for sure.
yeah.
But we have some pretty strong believers in.
Yeah, because what you generally
Keeping it
don't
open.
want to build in this situation is a competitive aquatic center, because then it's looking at being closed a lot for competitions, and in a couple of years, I'm going to be on Flamingo Street calling, "How come that pool's closed for another swim meet?"
That's we want access to our
I hope we
residents.
get to that problem.
Is part of that. So yeah, I just
But
wanted to bring that up because that's our number one goal.
A pool is a fitness and a training
It's
facility.
that we try to because they're taxpayers and we want to have their input too. So I think
Yeah.
some of their
It's a recreational amenity for our residents
Yeah.
primarily.
Yep.
Yeah, and
and
built
then-
well, it can always have lanes
Yeah,
available,
and what
and
you
space
talked-
available, and
You're talking about revenue. Most of it was visitors paying a fee. Obviously,
Yeah.
we know that. We didn't have all that many memberships to the pool in longevity. So, I mean, yes, we're going to keep the residents on the front burner, but
You're on with Andy at 1:30.
awesome.
Oh,
We're going for lunch, Andy. Just kidding.
there you go.
He's got
Great,
a-
thank you, because
Got a staff meeting
we've
at
been
2.
trying
We have a
to
staff
get
meeting at
schedules
2, so
coordinated,
Thank you,
and
Karen.
it hasn't worked. So
yeah,
thank
we'll
you.
walk next door at
The rest of
1:30.
that whole conversation goes to that meeting.
All right,
There you go.
so I think
So thank
now
you.
that
Yeah.
this is very productive. Thank you, Karen,
Yeah.
for.
yeah. And if John, if you
that.
have contacts and you have, you can.
Oh yeah, I don't
present-
want to control it. I want to find it out and hand it over.
No, I know you can present
But you're doing
as
the
we go
analytic-
too.
You're doing the
Yeah.
R&D.
Yeah.
We need you to control it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you
I'm a control freak, so what I
you
just
are
said
the one
was
with the
really true.
contacts. So
You're lying.
I'm a coach. so-
Before we move to the fitness court, I want to ask Joy and Becky if you have any thoughts with regard to the pool discussion. And if not, I think we do have a push forward. And so with that, then, if there are no other
Well,
comments,
the only
Joy?
thing I have is that I feel like it's important just to still incorporate, like you're saying, like, if there's a slide or whatever. I mean, we have a pool and we would still go to Bay Oak sometimes because of that aspect,
Right.
so I think
Yeah,
it's
and I
important for
didn't.
people
I
on
think I
vacation
discounted it a little
and-
bit, and I
It still
don't mean
has
to.
to-
Yeah, I just
Community.
personally
Because
feel like that's important
that's the
too.
gate.
Yeah. Right.
That's the gate that pays.
Yeah.
Right. And when kids were little, they
And
would
the
play on the
kids that use
structure.
it.
And, right.
Yeah, it still has to be community
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and not just
Exactly.
professional. So
Yeah, and all those people that come on training trips, at least from the U.S., those are families that are coming.
Right.
But the thing they have in common is once or twice a day they're here at the pool.
Right. So
And
one of them
brothers
maybe
and
is training,
sisters
the other
want
one's
to be
gonna
going down the
play.
slide,
Exactly.
while the other one's going back and forth. So,
Right. Yeah. And it was huge
Exactly.
for, Fridays during the summer for Bay Oaks kids. And, it's,
well, yeah, the
deal.
partnership with the school and swimming lessons
Yeah.
there and all
And-
that we'd want to incorporate.
I mean, take a look at the Gulf today. That's a big pool
Right.
gate day
right.
because you still want to be by
You're not
water,
gonna be in that water,
and
yeah.
you
Right.
don't want to get sandblasted.
exactly.
That's why I look like this today.
Yeah.
Joy, any comments?
No, I think y'all covered it.
All right, thank you, Joy. All right, thank you all. Let's move on to the fitness court discussion. Jeff, you want to lead that?
Yeah, so we're getting that thing installed finally. After how many years?
And where?
Up where it was originally.
platform's
The,
there.
the plan hasn't changed as far as where it's going to go. We do have the equipment. We ordered it again. It's sitting up at the pool right now.
Good.
So in June 10th through the 14th, they'll be here to install it. That's the
Okay.
time frame. The only thing they really need from us as a town is to decide which option we want, A or B.
I can't really tell,
I
and I
can't
couldn't get it
tell
on
the
the email
difference.
either. It wouldn't pull up on email.
It looks
What's
exactly the
difference of
same.
two?
I don't understand the white and blue. I don't.
It's just the pattern of it.
Oh, it's just the pattern.
The
that we're
pattern,
looking
yeah.
at.
That's
Oh, it's
it.
a decorative element? Is
Yeah.
that what?
Is
oh.
that the color? Is it white and blue? Like these are the colors?
I think it's white and blue. That's what they showed me. So they had other ones. They had, you for 25,000 extra, you
Nope.
can put your logo on it, or you can put.
No.
You can have an artist for. I think it goes up to 150,000. You can have one of our artists do it for you.
I prefer.
Printer's free and you
artists
need to
on
buy
the
these.
We have good
Just
artists on the beach. That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
They
we
do-
could,
they do
yeah, but that was
murals.
like another thing, 25,000, which I
Yeah.
don't
Nope.
think we want to put towards
Let's
this because
do option
it's
A.
gonna be facing that
We
the
can put
condo
a
anyway.
Decal for our logo on it
Yeah,
at some point.
Yeah.
We don't have
So-
to have them.
So do we vote on one of these?
we can vote on it.
Where is this?
In your
It's
packet.
a secret, Joy. You can't see it.
I think did I send this out email?
You did, but it didn't
I think
actually
so.
pull up. When you click on
Oh,
it,
it
nothing
didn't?
comes up.
Um,
And I didn't look at it till this morning,
It's
honestly.
that
That-
option, standard fitness court.
Fitness court.
Oh, where?
where's the
this-
fitness court? Right as the entrance to the pool, the one way coming in. It's right there.
the new
there
road
was a-
that opened,
there
when
was
you
a
pull in, it's on
slab
the left. You
that
can
we
see the
already had
slab,
poured,
yeah.
which is good. I took pictures and showed them. We do have a little bit of cracking, assuming from the big trucks going over them, but
Concrete cracks. Yeah.
we do a little repair on it. But yeah, we'll put it right there. So yeah, it's really you're not even gonna see this portion of it. It's gonna be facing that condo and a fence.
yeah.
So
I think option A seems to be the most,
I like option A the best as well.
Yeah.
So do I.
All right, let's do just option A.
Yeah, if we do decide to do
You don't get to
our
vote,
own
John.
painting or
We're
anything,
done.
then we've got
Oh, I'm in.
options.
Are you
Well, yeah,
loving
because
the option
I
A?
went over all that stuff. I was hoping I was going to hear A. I'm measuring the pool on
so
Google Earth.
for those who are
I have a meeting at 1:30.
interested in implementing
Right.
this among staff, I think that the consensus among our board cab is option A is preferable. Thank you for us having the opportunity to weigh in on the aesthetics.
yeah, so hopefully everything goes on schedule. I hope, and June 10th will be the day that they come in and they want to have it wrapped up in a week.
So is
A
oh,
question
sorry.
for you about that area, because at the time when we were doing the community center planning, there was a question as to whether that was going to be a one-way in or one-way out, and now you can do either one.
No, it's a
No, it's
one-way.
one-way. But there
You'll
are
see
no
signs.
signs.
Do not enter. There's a bunch of signs up there now.
Oh, now? Okay.
Yeah.
well, there
There's all
wasn't-
new signs and it says one way just coming in.
Okay,
And do not enter, and
Yeah.
they're pretty big.
okay. When were those installed?
A couple weeks ago.
Okay, all
Not
right.
long
So
ago.
that's, yeah, because I was wondering, that was
Yeah.
kind of like the Wild West.
Yeah.
So is
Because
it
there was virtually no signage about
Yeah.
anything at that
Yeah,
point. So
yeah.
there is,
We did
okay.
put signs up.
is it going to be just the equipment going in June? We're not like a water station or anything yet.
No, there's a spot for a drinking fountain, so we have that on order.
In
and
June also?
Hopefully,
Okay.
got to get it plumbed in.
Yeah.
Do we have
Plumbing's
to do anything with council on this?
it's already been voted on.
Okay.
Even that there was an extra 25,000 that we had to pay to install it, and then council already voted
Voted
to
on
do
that
that.
one.
So
Okay.
I already have that
Okay,
in
okay.
it's already been there. But no, unless they want us to give them the recommendation for option A and option B, that'd be it.
So is there signage at the entrance there? Going that the signage is,
It's been ordered. It's in
in,
production. It's
when-
that Bay
To
Oaks
go off
Park
of
sign.
Estero, there's not.
Yeah, off
yet.
of Estero. Not yet. It's in
Right,
production.
not yet. Because we turned there to go to
actually,
the Easter egg hunt the other
I-
day. I don't think there was a sign.
I think we I want to say, I'm not 100%, but I think we just picked up signs either this morning or yesterday pointing to Town Hall and Bay Oaks this way as temporary spaces.
temporary,
Yeah.
okay.
And then we'll have the big, huge Bay Oaks Park sign.
That's
Not
over
huge,
by
but
the ball
bigger.
field. Then that'll be where the ball field.
No, that'll be to the entrance.
Oh, it'll be the
Yeah.
entrance, okay, because originally the sign was closer to the school.
It
on-
was?
Yes.
Oh, I
There
don't-
was
The
a-
big
I don't
sign we
have to
voted
look.
on was by the road.
When you drove down
the road.
Bay Oaks, you had the sign to the right.
That's the old
right-
sign, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, that's where the old sign was.
When we voted
Oh,
on
yeah,
this
we're gonna
new
put this one
sign,
on
it
the
was going to be on
one-way
the
coming in,
road.
yeah.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Member
Unless you
items.
think there's Karen, did you bring that question up for council or did you?
No, I couldn't remember.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if there was something you wanted to bring
No,
to them. Okay. No.
I just couldn't remember if.
Well, it was
we did
originally,
so,
about 3 years ago.
yeah.
Probably
Do
voted
you have
on.
enough to talk about when you're in council?
Yeah, you don't want to talk about this artwork?
No.
So that's really all that. If you have any questions about it, it'll look good. Be good entrance for a dead spot.
Okay, moving forward, member items. We'll start with Jesse. Anything to comment on?
No, not at this time.
Okay, Jesse, thank you.
I have,
John, you
I have a
know.
question on Friends. Is
Oh.
anything going on with
So I
that?
just renewed it. I did do that. So I just renewed it and I adjusted all the members on it. I'm still looking for somebody that wants to become a member and really help out with it as much as possible. So I've talked to quite a few people. I think everybody's pretty busy.
Yeah.
So that's been a struggle, but I did just renew it, and so we're good there. So it's still active.
So do we have a bank account?
So that was part of it. So when I renewed it, I added myself and actually Becky to make it much easier
Okay.
because there was multiple people on it before.
Okay.
So now myself and Becky could realistically go to the bank and set up a bank account, no problem. Before it was like you have to have everybody, which was like 5 different people.
That's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah,
It's a little
that would not
crazy.
have
So I just moved it down to myself and Becky.
Okay.
So are you going to open the account at the same place or?
So I mean, I'm at Wells Fargo, so I don't know where you're a member, Becky.
Chase, but I don't care.
Okay, it doesn't matter to me.
Wells
I-
Fargo's fine.
Yeah.
So the only reason I'm asking is Friends of Lovers Key. We were at BB&T at one point, and then we went to Fifth Third, which has been not good.
Okay.
And we just met with Sandcap, Sanibel Captiva,
Okay.
and they are fabulous. They want to work with nonprofits. They
Well,
bend
that's
over backwards for
pretty
you.
convenient for me.
Yeah. So
a great idea.
exactly. So I can give you the name
Yes.
of the woman because where she is actually at the one on McGregor and College to open the account.
Okay.
But then after that, you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
And we still have. So once we get that open, in the town budget still sits at $16,000
Okay.
from the old Friends organization. And when I cleaned out my storage and I found all
Oh,
my
you got it.
paperwork,
The original
I
check?
found that original check for $1,743 or
Okay.
whatever it is. And of course, I didn't bring it today. I thought I had it in here and I didn't. It's sitting on my dresser, but
Those funds are still in there
And then
available.
what we could
Yeah.
do, Becky, is just coordinate
give
once
you
you
that
send me that
check.
info.
That's fine.
Get some
And-
time, and then we'll coordinate that.
And actually,
I'm
we have
probably way more available than you are, so you just tell me when you're available and I'll work it out.
we have a check from the women's club that needs to get deposited too for
Oh,
$631 or something like that. That we raised from the chili cook-off, I believe it was.
perfect.
So
And
it's
this
been
is
sitting in our
from-
safe, and I've been waiting to
This is
see
from
you,
Putt
Jesse.
and Pub from 2 years ago.
Oh,
So
Okay.
Mary said to go ahead and deposit it. She didn't think there would be a problem of having it go through, but if it, for whatever reason, didn't go through, then they would reissue it for us.
Perfect.
So
Fantastic.
let me find out the name of this woman.
Okay.
It's probably in my email somewhere. And, because they bent over
Makes a
backwards
huge
for us.
difference. That sounds great.
Jesse, I'll
Yeah.
talk to Nicole, our PIO, and see if we can. Oh, you know, Nicole,
I talked to her.
about putting it on Facebook or
Oh,
putting it
no,
on
no,
social
no.
media.
No,
about
no.
the friends.
Yeah,
they were
the
looking for a.
Yes.
I'll talk to her about that.
Okay.
Yeah, she's our new PIO. If you didn't know that.
And I
Yeah,
would think
okay.
that, maybe the Bay Oaks Social Seniors might be interested in becoming
Good
active.
idea.
Because they're not running, most of them are not running major businesses on the island that deal with tourism, and so season is always really hectic for
Yeah.
probably those that you've talked to.
Okay.
But maybe there'll be people that do have more time available to help the friends.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. I actually have a note to see if they want to be in the parade too, 'cause since they're,
Oh,
they're
yes.
so active. So, so I'll put that on the list for Danielle.
Okay. All right, and
But we'll try to do some recruiting on our end too.
Okay. No, I appreciate
Will there be a fee to join the Friends?
We haven't discussed that. Karen, was there a fee prior?
I
don't-
don't think so.
In my opinion, I would say we get it
Time.
kicked off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's want to be in a new bylaw, let's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't think there's any fees listed or anything like that. There was nothing.
The meeting that
Was
we
there a
had.
website prior or anything like that at all?
There was a website, which I don't think is functional at all.
But is the domain still active?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I'll look into
I'll
it,
start
too.
looking it up. I have a good website guy, so I
Okay.
can turn it around in like no time.
Hey, we need your website guy for folks,
Oh.
for Friends of Lover's Key, because
Okay.
ours is not great. So
Yeah,
I would
he
love
just
to have.
he just created one for me in like
You know-
a matter of a
Awesome.
week and a half.
Just got that
Right.
quote.
You know, one thing that may work
It is.
once we
I like that too.
once we get a membership established in terms of Friends of Bay Oaks, is to do what Friends
You
of
got
Mount
FOMO
House
over
has
here.
done, because obviously the Mount House is town-owned, like Bay Oaks is town-owned, and Friends has incorporated the town website in terms of if you want to become a member of Mount House and a member of Friends, you put the money in, and it's allocated appropriately in the databases or are complementary.
Okay.
So if, for example, someone becomes a member of Bay Oaks, to be the recreational member, they could also then have the option of becoming the Friends of Bay Oaks. So that's
Okay.
another way to generate new membership. And more importantly, at this beginning stage, exposure, because a lot of people don't know that we're interested in, getting this Friends group up and running again.
And that's where our fundraising efforts can come from too, because technically the town cannot do fundraising, but
Exactly.
a Friends organization can.
Okay.
Right,
So
exactly.
partnerships the town can do.
Yes.
Fundraising they can't.
Partnerships and accepting donations is probably our.
Right.
So a few months ago, when we had our meeting and we had the lady here discussing the sunshine laws, we asked her about the board of Friends of Bay Oaks. And I know she recommended that we should not be on it, but I can't remember if she said one person could be on it or nobody.
I think she recommended kind of a clean split
Mm-hmm.
between the two. That way, there's no voting members on
Right.
both of them, because you could,
should be on the board. I thought that's what she said as well.
She
so that was one
recommended
thing. It was a few
not
months ago.
having people
Yeah,
on the same.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that was
Overlaps.
So
But
So you get it started, but then
yeah, it's good to go. Just renewed it, so everything's good. We just need to get the bank account, and then we can circle back and say, okay, if there needs to be a separation, we can do that separation, no problem. Now it's much easier because it's just you and I as opposed to 5 people.
Exactly.
It was going to be pretty lengthy process.
yeah, I'd
But
say
then now,
I'm
like-
not going to say you two can't right now.
Thank
It's
you.
just-
But we're
I
not
feel the
only
same
looking
way.
for,
I
like-
mean, we're just
understand.
trying to start this up, and you've put so much legwork into it.
Right.
Oh, yeah, he's
for
a
sure
huge
that,
asset
that's
for
not
that.
the case. It's just we don't want to get in the habit of having like our whole committee or our whole advisory board be also the friends of.
It's
just-
so
I don't think
Because
it
it
would
deals
have
with-
started without him, though. Like,
No, it wouldn't have.
he at least needed to start it up. Like, it would not have gone anywhere without him.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
the only reason
is
we're
like,
in
I
this
want to get this
position.
thing
Yeah.
going, and then if we want to, maybe. In
So
a
we're not
year
only
to
looking for
say-
members, we're looking for board and members, really. I mean, that's
But what about, I'm sure you've gone after, all the PTO people?
there's not a lot.
There's not
There
a
used
lot
to be a
anymore?
bigger PTO with the school, and there's only really 2 of the parents that are
We're
because
not
every
part
yeah.
of PTO anymore because
But everybody's
Oh.
so busy too. Like,
I know.
Wow.
Building
you know,
their
like,
homes back.
that's
and
the thing.
Details.
It's exactly right. So the people that were super involved, I mean, there's only really 2 moms that are still doing. They kind of do everything right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, George.
and their kids use it. They use Bay Oaks all the time.
Right.
Which they maybe. I mean, I'm thinking of Jenny, and she
But
might
it's Jenny and Chantal that do
Jenny
most
and
of the
Chantal is-
PTA,
Yeah, I mean,
PTO
they-
stuff. I mean, Dustin
idea.
was on it. He's hugely busy, and
Yeah.
I know Chantel's women's club, right?
she goes to it, but she's not on the board. She's a member, but not on the board.
She's not on the board of
Right.
Women's Club.
I think Monica was president. I don't know if she still is. But Dustin's, I mean, they're rebuilding their house and all. It's a lot.
Right. Well, and
Yeah,
Monica is
she's
now
the
the
magistrate.
magistrate.
She's the magistrate too,
now,
right,
and,
so-
yeah, she's.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to add.
Okay, thank you, Becky. Joy, comment?
Yes. So I just wanted to quickly report out on the pickleball tournament. it was a dinky little tournament. However, we did raise 2,300, a little over 2,300, and certainly that was because Alex King covered all the expenses. So I have asked the participants for feedback. I did get a little bit, but on the whole, it was a positive event, and it was. I think everyone had a great time.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to bring it up. I did
Thank
go
you,
down
Joy.
there for it, and it was awesome. Joy, you did a great job of putting it together. There was a food truck down there. I loved the quote unquote celebrity match we had with Beach Talk and Jim and Dan, with Kim and
I
Ed.
was shocked at Dan's nimbleness.
Yeah, it was cool, and it just
I
made me think
seriously
of all
was.
these other
I
things
totally
we could
went
do
to his face.
with them, and it just shows a nice side instead of just
Camaraderie.
a different side of them, with both sides. I mean, it was fun to watch. I was down there and I brought my son and he was cheering him on, and
Oh, he was. That's
yeah,
so cool.
and their banter back and forth was great, and it was really cool. And then the whole tournament was wonderful, and I'm glad we could definitely do it. We want to do more.
Yeah, well, and Nicole and Danielle were a big part of that. And, thankfully I had lots of volunteers, including kids from FGCU. And they ended up, we did have a couple of no-shows. So they jumped in and filled the gap. So on the whole, I'm really happy it went well. And I think we'll probably do it again next year. And in fact, I need to talk to Danielle so that we can just sort of pencil in, a date for next year, kind of, exercise it right in between, the Shrimp Fest and all the other things that are going on next year. The other thing that, as I was looking through, the Observer the other day, I just was thinking, it would be fun to have something that brought Bay Oaks to the Observer like once a month or something. And so I was thinking it would be fun to have like a sportsman of the month or sports person of the month, because there's a lot of things that are going on. I mean, obviously the newsletter, which by the way, just as Danielle, whoever's doing it, Danielle, I guess, the newsletter is fantastic. It's full of information and it makes you really want to participate in all the various activities. But I thought it would be fun if we had we could just have once a month, we could have a sports person and just pick somebody out. It's kind of like what you all do with your town employees. Once a month you have like a feature. It would just be a community thing. So anyway.
Yeah,
it's just
have
something I wanted to throw out.
you looked into that at all? As how much that would cost?
Well, I was kind of hoping it would be nothing. But I can reach out to Nathan
Okay.
at the Observer and ask him if we did something like this, would he charge us or would it just be like a news article?
Yeah, if he can do that, that's great. Yeah, that's my thing, and I'm sorry to keep bringing it up to every single topic, but I think a budget and
No, you should.
where that money's going to come from, and I love the idea because I read it. A lot of people read it. They page through it. It's good. It's got a lot of recognition in there, and I know they put events and everything like that too in there for us. So. Yeah, hopefully that would work. I love the idea. I mean, that's great. It's exposure. It's good for people that want to come down and be a part of that. And
Little recognition.
yeah, recognition's always good. So.
Well, we have a member of our, excuse me, Joy, we have a member of our board cab that just left, which means that we no longer have a quorum. So, and our meeting.
Does she
was-
count now that she's already on the phone or no?
Yeah, she does.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We still have Joy. Yes,
Yeah.
of course. Okay, so we're still good. Okay, we still have. So anything more to report, Joy? Sorry for the interruption.
No.
Okay, we're good. All right, setting the next meeting, I believe it's for this time next month,
That would be May 1st is the first Wednesday.
May 1st at 12, as usual, May 1st, okay? And I'd like to have
May Day.
Sorry?
Mayday.
Yes, May Day. May I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Can we set Anything you want on the agenda this time? Any things you want to add, or we want to?
No, and
I would like
probably
an update
check
from
with
John.
Betty to see, because she is chair,
Okay.
to see if she has anything. But I think we definitely would like to have an update on the pool.
And I just sent you
I
the
saw it.
information for Sandcap,
Thank
so
you.
we can maybe have an update on where
On
we are.
Friends.
Now. I'll be
for
sure
Put
to
that on
bring
the agenda,
the
too.
check to you
Okay.
next month too.
And then Becky, I think I have your number. I'll just double check.
And I have to run too, so.
Okay.
All
No,
right,
that's good.
meeting adjourned. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you.
All right,
And
thank
it
you.
is
Thanks, Joy.
1:31.
Take care.
Thank you too.